What's up, everybody? Bryan here with Xact IT Solutions, coming at you with my third Garmin ransomware hack video. I wanted to update everyone today because today is officially day 5 since Garmin got their systems hacked with ransomware by supposedly Evil Corp, and they seem to be getting back up online and running today, which is a good news for them and the people that use Garmin's apps and services. However, I wanted to get into a little bit about how Garmin handled the situation and what businesses can learn from something like this event. Um, a lot of things come to mind early on in this hack, and I see a lot of similarities also with the Twitter hack and the inability for these large companies with very large budgets and pretty extensive C-suites and C-level executives. A lot of the planning that we do here at Xact IT revolves around incident response planning and having processes and procedures in place to deal with these types of things. And it's evident from what happened at Garmin that this incident response plan wasn't very well thought out or very well planned. There's a lot of reasons and a lot of things that you can look at because of this. Number one is that when they came out right away, they weren't giving a lot of information. They weren't very forthcoming with what was going on and why their systems were down so hard. And that usually is a clear indication that they did not have a very well thought out cyber response plan. More or less, things happened, and the executives and the system administrators were probably all looking at one another, wondering what to do next, which is why you saw a lot of employees taking to social media and releasing certain information, and people were able to put together those different tweets and things like that and put together a bigger picture based on the individual tweets by different Garmin employees, which, a lot of companies today that we work with, they have a requirement around incident response planning. We at Xact IT, when we do our analysis against companies, we make them basically write down what it is that would be affected should they face some kind of a hack or a breach. What information potentially could people get to if they were to gain access to the system? So that's not rocket science to put together. It's basically detailing what information you store on your systems for you to conduct business. So do you store credit card numbers? Do you store personal information like social security numbers, or do you store health information or anything like that? This is all information that you are entrusted with. And if somebody were to break into your company or your network, what would they potentially have access to, assuming that they got highest level access to your system? That's the start of an incident response plan, actual identification of the type of data and the severity, sensitivity of that data. That's the first thing that companies want to identify and look at and understand. Once you understand that and you know that, then you can build around that your incident response plan. How are you going to cut access off to said data? How are you going to recover that data? It's all built around your initial step of identifying exactly what you have, how important it is. Does it fall under any regulation, or is there any government requirement for you to protect that data or keep it for a certain period of time? These are all things that you have to identify. You have to write it down, and you literally have to spell out what it is that could happen, what's the worst that could happen if somebody were to get this information. So when we look at Garmin, they weren't very forthcoming about what happened. They didn't do a whole heck of a lot of public relations. They didn't have any executives come out and say, here's what's going on, here's what we're planning on doing, here's how we have it under control, or here's how we're going to get it under control, and here's what we can expect. Instead, what we saw employees going out to social media and posting things, which part of your incident response plan should dictate to your employees what they can and cannot do and or say out in public about an event. If your employees are well trained through a cybersecurity awareness program, they're going to know that loose lips sink ships, and they're going to know that they should not be going out on social media and letting the world know what is going on inside of the organization. That information, what gets released, should be controlled. It should be released on an as-needed basis by people who are authorized to speak on it, and can speak on it in a way that doesn't do further damage to the investigation and or the recovery process. So without that, you're going to end up with a very haphazard situation. You're not going to be able to provide a lot of answers to the people who are asking questions. And then you run the risk of, information getting out through back doors and through back channels to reporters and now social media. So incident response planning is very important. It's very important because when you do get hacked, this is the thing that's going to determine, as I've said in my last 2 videos about this hack, this is going to determine how long you're down for and how quickly you can recover. It may sound elementary, it may sound pretty basic, like how can a policy or document, really protect me in that way. But the reality of it is just having it in place and getting everyone on the same page of what needs to be done in the event is a step further than what most companies are doing today. And then step 2 is actually practicing that plan and putting a test in place. So when an actual event doesn't happen, you don't seem like amateurs and you don't seem like, you don't know what you're doing. Executives come out and think of it like when there's a big event when in your government or in your town or with something that happens with a fire or something like that in your town. Typically you have an individual, maybe the fire chief, the police chief, the mayor, who comes out and speaks on behalf of the entity in charge of the event. That should be how it goes down with corporations. They should have a person that comes out and speaks to the event and does it in a controlled manner where information can be released and given when appropriate. So there's a lot of good things that businesses can pick up from when other businesses get breached, and make sure that they're not doing or making the same mistakes in their business. However, I can tell you that it is very easy to become complacent and also trick yourself and tell you that you are doing these things when you really aren't. A lot of times we come in and we evaluate incident response plans and disaster recovery plans, and while what's written on paper sounds good, in practicality, what they're actually saying technically isn't possible or just isn't the truth. So you need to put this stuff down on paper, and as a C-level person, you typically look at a plan like that and say, hey, this looks good. But the only way to know is to test the plan and then evaluate how you did with that plan, go back and revise it from your lessons learned as you went through that plan. So take a look at this Garmin hack, take a look at the Twitter hack. It kind of falls into the same boat. A little information coming from the top, a lot of information coming from the bottom. When that starts happening, that means you have a broken incident response plan. And at this point, based on all the cyber insurance policies I've seen come out in the last 12 to 24 months, most businesses are signing off saying they have a well-documented and thought-out incident response plan. So you may want to check your cyber insurance policy and make sure that you didn't sign off on something like that. And if you did, you're going to want to get that plan in place as soon as possible. So it looks like 2020 and 2021 is the year for compliance and cybersecurity. We're seeing a lot of businesses call us to get cyber training plans in place and cyber awareness training in place for their company, which is a very good thing. So there's a lot of good solutions out there to get that in place. We recommend regular weekly training so your people know what to do. Don't just do it once a year at a workshop or an offsite or a lunch and learn or something like that. That's not enough. The best delivery for cyber awareness and to keep your employees abreast of your policies and how you want things handled from a cybersecurity perspective is to provide regular cyber awareness training. We recommend weekly videos that get delivered via email that you track, and the system that we use and we deploy out to our company and our clients' companies gives out weekly training videos. They're quick 2, 3, 5-minute videos with a quiz at the end, and everything's tracked. So if you're ever audited, you come in, you give the auditors come in, you say, here's our cyber awareness plan, and here's the proof that we're doing it on a regular basis. So this is Brian. I appreciate you watching the video. I'm with Xact IT Solutions. If you like anything that you saw here, please hit that thumbs up button and like our video. Please subscribe to our channel if you have yet to do so. It's the only thing that we ask when we give you this information. Hit that subscribe button. If you like, hit the bell so you get notified when we post new videos. We're trying to get a lot of videos out per week talking about cybersecurity. And if you have any questions or need any help regarding cybersecurity or the network in your business, please head over to xitx.com. That's our website. Click on the free consultation link, fill that out, and someone will reach back out to you and work with you on whatever your situation may be. We look forward to bringing you some more content here in the near future, and stay safe out there, everyone. Take care.